Welcome to the Beyond the Business podcast with your host, Corey Bauman.
Welcome to the Beyond the Business podcast, another edition, and I'm here with my special guest, Ari Paul, the corporate entertainer. Ari, what's up, man?
Hey, Corey, what's going on out there?
Hey,
greetings from Pennsylvania.
I know. How's Philly treating you today? What's the weather like?
Treating us well. It's like 17 degrees out this morning.
Ooh.
It's pretty brutal, man.
It's cold here in Texas, though. I mean, it was like 30 this morning, which is cold, pretty cold for Texas.
I heard it was in the 30s in Florida this morning.
I know.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I saw somebody post something on Facebook about that.
Me too.
Ari, I'm really happy to have you a part of the show, man. So you're a corporate entertainer. So I know, and I've seen you in action, and it's awesome. I know that you were born in West Philly, so you're a Philly boy, and then you moved over to the main line for a little bit, so you've lived in Pennsylvania all your life. And you're a magician, but you're more than just a magician. I know that, and I know you're a magician. You're a mentalist. Right. So I'm going to ask you specifically, obviously, what that is. And so just happy to have you on the show, man. And you're a Master Networks member, of course, of our Bluebell.
Proud Master Networks member.
Yeah, man. So welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks, man. You know, you said the thing about the magician and mentalist, but more than that. And, I don't want to be put in the box. When people hear the word magician, a lot of times the first thing they'll think is he or she would be great for my 4-year-old grandson or, oh, my kids would love you. But once you're a mentalist and an entertainer, then it's a whole nother ballgame. I mean, I pride myself on walking up to people and they go, "You're a magician? Oh, my kids would love this." And then I like blow their mind and they're like, whoa, wait a second.
Yeah.
Do that again. Wait, are you free for this or that?
Yeah. So you were at our event that we had, our member appreciation event that we had a couple weeks ago, well, almost a month ago now. And one of the cool things I love, and I tell people about this all the time, is there's one thing, and I've seen like magicians and things like that on stage, but I think it's really cool when you get up close and personal with the attendees and you're like right in front of their face doing tricks, like that blows people away.
Gosh. Yeah. The close-up
I love that, man.
Highly recommended.
And I also told people, which I really love too, it wasn't just about the tricks and the magic and those types of things. You're a true comedian, man. Like you're funny, you know what I mean? And it is an entertaining. So it's like the perfect title for you, corporate entertainer, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I try to tell people it's so much more. I mean, anyone can sit there and learn. I don't even like to use this word, but a trick, you know?
Yeah.
But making it work is your personality, who you are. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It's kind of how you're doing it.
Sure.
And yeah, I mean, I love performing close up because there's no excuse. You see it on TV, you go, it's TV. You see it on stage, you go, it's wires or something, mirrors, like some stereotypical reason how. But the close up's really fun. Yeah, totally.
So it's a very, very, very niche business for sure. And that's why, like, if you remember, I was hounding you to get into Master Networks because I knew that.
Dude, I'm so happy I did it, by the way.
Yeah, well, I'm glad, man. I'm glad. And that's why I was relentless with it, because I knew that you could really use our network as a support because it's so niche-y. And while any business has its general fundamentals, because it's so niche-y, I felt like we could really support you in what you were doing. But it's specific, man. Like, I don't know another person that's a magician or a mind reader or any of that stuff. Like, I just don't know. I don't know if I've ever known anybody, and I'm sure you get that a lot,
Yeah. I mean, like for my master, our chapter meets tomorrow morning. I'm pumped. Like, I'm excited to see everyone. Like, aside from all the help that I've gotten and opportunities, it's just like, you want to see these people. It's like fun. It really, like, I know it sounds silly, but it really is like a family with these guys.
Yeah, it is. So because you have such a specific type of business, tell me a little bit about some of the struggles you've maybe had growing your business. I know things are exploding from you right now, and I know you have a TV show coming up, like you have all this cool stuff going on, but like any of us, it's not always been like that. So tell me some of the struggles, man. How did you get to this point?
Well, let me take you back about 10 years ago. I was doing magic for about 3 years at that point, but not for money or anything, just because it was fun. and I was working at a TGI Fridays. I walked in one day and I said, hey, would you have any interest in having me walk around and doing magic for people here every Wednesday night from 6 to 8? And they said, you know what, why not? So I did that, and I really didn't think that it would ever become anything. It was just fun at that time. You know, one thing led to another. I remember this woman, it's Relay for Life. It's like a walkathon. I don't know if that's a national thing or not.
I think it is, yeah.
I think it is too. And so she hired me for free, and I walked around and did magic at the event, and it was just really fun. And one thing led to another. So I got paid here and there, and then, you know, eventually, you know, my mom's a microbiologist at University of Pennsylvania.
Wow.
So she's like, you want to do what? You want to be a what? Are you crazy? I'll stick back with the story, but she's finally coming around, you know, 10 years later.
Yeah.
But no, tons of challenges. I mean, the first challenge is obviously money, you know, like how do you make enough money literally performing? It's just, it's kind of like an athlete thing where like there's only a select amount of them that really get rich. I mean, 99.9% of the, you know, college athletes never go pro. Mm-hmm. So it was like, it was scary. And I was teaching, I have a teaching degree, and I was subbing but like obsessed with performing and just whatever. And it took a really long time to get to the point, but like you were saying, it's starting to happen fast now. I mean, I go out from charging maybe $150 a show till I did a corporate event, and I'll just throw in, I mean, they pay me $2,000 just to walk around for like an hour or so. And it's just like, I don't know. It's really crazy how it's come full circle. And, but it's still scary. There's still challenges. I still go, you know, when it's slow, what do you do? Yep. You know, I don't have like a salary where you know, if I'm sick, I don't get, you know, I get paid. It doesn't work that way. So it's scary at times. So.
Yep. It's definitely scary to own your own business, no doubt, no matter what level you're at. I think the couple things that you said really resonated with me is, so you go back to like your mom, right? So like when you told your mom you wanted to do this and this is what you wanted to do to make money, of course, it's not that she's not supporting you. She is. It's just that she cares about you probably she cares about you probably more than anybody, right? So like, she's concerned because she hasn't been in that realm where she's probably seen somebody make money at what you're doing, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, I see where she's coming from, and yeah.
But she supports you. But that's tough, man. When you make that leap and you're right, you don't have benefits, you don't have any of that stuff, and you gotta
exactly
wake up and figure out where it's coming from every single day.
Exactly, and you know, I try to make the most of my time now. I mean, I'm just work. If I'm reading a market, it's more about marketing at this point as well. I mean, when it started, it was fun. Do magic, it's fun. The tricks are fun.
Yeah.
Now it's like the performing is the fun part now.
Yes.
It's the behind the scenes stuff. Like it's just
it's the systems, right? Any business needs systems, and now you're at a place where you need systems. You need systems in place to run the business end of things. But that's really cool, man. And you've grown it because of the fact that it's what you love so much, and so many people never make that leap. You know, they work a 9-to-5 job, and there's nothing against that, but it's they work the 9-to-5, and it takes a lot of courage to do what you've done. It does.
Yeah, man.
And every day you wake up, it takes courage.
Yeah. And I think you got to be a little crazy and stupid in the beginning too.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. And you have to sometimes, you know, look around and say that maybe there isn't a ton of support for actually what you're doing. All right. Until people see your success and they see you starting to make money and those types of things. Yeah. You know, then it's funny how the support sometimes comes, right?
It is really funny because in the beginning it's like, you know, what's going to be your real job? Yeah. And now I'm like you were saying, I just host this TV show, and it's just kind of funny because people are like, wait, you're making money living doing that?
Right. And you've spent money, right? And you've spent money on getting a degree to be a teacher.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. It's like people don't understand that. It's like, how could you invest all that money and not become a teacher, right? And that's a big debate, I think, nowadays with universities. And
my gosh,
there's a place for it. Don't get me wrong. What a great country we live in to be able to start a business, though. You know what I mean? Like,
no, man, absolutely. I mean, I run into people, I was going to say all the time, not all the time, but that I went to college with that majored in education or whatever. You know, what are you up to? Not teaching, you know, doing this, doing that. And the ones who did get a teaching job had to work down in Philly. Yeah. in really bad environments with like really bad pay. And it's just kind of funny how everything changed.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
So over the last couple years, I mean, I know, like I said, you have a lot going on right now, but what are some of the biggest wins you've had? You know, maybe it's a big gig you got, maybe it's something a goal you were trying to hit, and you just, hit it, blew it out of the water, whatever. What were some of those successes you can relate to?
Yeah, no, definitely, man. Basically just changing markets and stuff was really felt like a success for me. Cause when I was first starting, my main market was children's birthday parties, and I was doing about 150 a year. And I said to myself, I like doing this, but I feel like I'm getting better. I'm learning. I think my skills are a little more refined now. I think I can branch out. Mm-hmm. So I started doing some corporate stuff, and then I get hired by schools to do assemblies. I'm just really proud of myself with the way things have gone in, bigger venues, more, in the beginning, it's funny because it's easier when Jimmy's mom wants you book you for his fifth birthday party. It's like, here's the address and show up. But when you're performing at schools and companies, here's the contract, here's the invoice, here's let me send you my proof of insurance. But it's cool though, and it's neat to just it's kind of silly, but it's neat to have seen the transformation. It's kind of hard. It's like that thing when you're that saying, how if a frog is in warm water that slowly gets heated, he'll just chill there. But if it's really hot, he jumps in, he jumps out. So I'm kind of for me, it's kind of like I'm in that warm water just sitting there. But it's kind of neat, when I look back and I go do my taxes, or I go through things and just see how much I made. And not to sound like that's what it's all about, but those things are really neat to just see the changes in the venues I performed in, and the clients, and Master Networks and you guys, and getting involved with other business owners, and really feeling like an entrepreneur. I mean, really feeling like I own a business, not just, I do a magic show here and there. I mean, I really feel like I'm running a business, and it's fun. I mean, it's like a milestone, I think.
Very cool. Very cool. So, obviously Master Networks, you're in a chapter, you're in the Blue Belt chapter. And it sounds like a lot of your business comes from referral. Do you do any kind of marketing or anything like that? Or is it primarily referral?
I'm just starting to do a whole email campaign and cold calling. So in the next month or so, I'm going to be just on the phone a lot, making a lot of random phone calls. I already have a script written out. I've already started emailing people. Every 50 emails I send, maybe one person writes back and says, oh, we hire entertainment, we'll keep you on file. Or some guy wrote me the other day from Pittsburgh saying that he was interested in something. So, and I'm sending them all over the country, to be honest. And that's, it's what you got to do. So I'm just starting to market pretty hardcore. But you're right. A lot of it's referral gigs. Yeah.
Well, and so I respect the fact too that you're at a really good place right now with the business. You're growing it. You've got the TV show coming now, some bigger gigs and things like that. But I respect the fact that you're still willing to do what it takes, which means get on the phone.
Yeah.
A lot of folks don't. They don't get on the phone. They don't put the time over the task. Right. The task being you got to lead generate. It can't just be all marketing, and going to Master Networks is lead generation and marketing, but a lot of lead generation. So yeah, man, I mean, I respect the fact that you're going to jump on the phones and make some phone calls. And I was going to ask you if is part of your goal to expand and travel, because you're primarily doing it in the tri-state area, I would say. Or?
Yeah, at the moment, PA, Jersey, Delaware, New York, and Maryland. Okay. I'm super excited to work with you guys at Connect.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're excited to have you at Connect. It's going to be awesome.
I can't wait, man. I'm really pumped. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool.
Wait to network out there. And but yeah, I mean, I'd love to start travel. I mean, the further you go, I guess the more opportunity you have. So I am looking forward to that's the next step, I think, is starting to really branch out all over the country. Just kind of make my own schedule so I can have time for, fun family stuff too. But
I mean, I don't want to jump the gun and make any promises, but honestly, dude, you honestly couldn't be at a better place than Connect in April to be able to meet some of those people. And
I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
I always tell people, man, there's going to be 400 some people there, but I mean, you could make a handful of really, really good contacts that could drive your expansion. I mean, it literally could be 2 people you meet at Connect that go, hey, I know this guy, I know this person and this person. And you're there with people that are going to hire for events and things like that. It's all over the board. You know, I mean, you're going to get the yoga instructor, and there's going to be people that have a staff, have employees, and do events and things like that. So,
dude,
it's
not to sound
really
cheesy,
cool.
but I already met you through Master Networks, and I'm getting that opportunity at Connect because I met you. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
I'm like so excited about Connect. I really am, man.
Yeah, me too, man. It's gonna be really cool, and just to have you with us, and then be able to be part of the event too. You know, I'm excited to see and talk to you after the event and see how it's really helped, because I do really think the connections you make there are going to be really pivotal this year for you, in getting to different areas of the country. And you know, if you think about it, Master Networks has many regions around the country. So you're going to meet other leaders and regional leaders that are going to do events and things like that too. So, man, I'm excited. It could be really good for you. Yeah.
I am so excited.
Look, man, well, that's actually a good lead into kind of my next question for you. So as you're growing and expanding and doing all these things, you know, one of the things we talk about here on the podcast is legacy. You know, beyond the business, right? We talk about beyond the business. It's in our why statement with Master Networks. I'm really passionate about that. And where I come from is, you know, we have these chapter meetings, but it's much more than just a chapter meeting. It's a community we're building. You know, how are we leaving legacies in our communities, things like that. I think legacy means something different to everyone. So I'm going to ask you the question first. What does legacy mean to you, that word? What does it mean to you? And how are you leaving legacy in your area, you know, wherever across the world?
So this first one's going to sound maybe a tad corny, but I really mean this. I mean, I've done shows, man, and like I'll have kids come up to me, or even adults, and they'll just be like, you know what, like I really needed that, like, you know, like you made me laugh, and I haven't really laughed too much for a while. And like, or they'll come and say my kid was like really upset, you know, this or that happened in their life, and they saw your show and they just felt better, and like, thank you. And like, it sounds corny, but that means a lot to me. Like legacy, like you don't, this is kind of appropriate with MLK Day yesterday, but like legacy doesn't come from doing things just for you. Like it doesn't come from financial gain. And of course everyone needs money, blah, blah, blah. But I want to, legacy to me is like, did I change people? Like, did people feel better because of my show? Like, did people have faith in humanity? Did people feel a sense of togetherness and, you know, magic? Did they feel something special happen? Like, to me, legacy is like, people know your name, but not because you made money or whatever, but people know who you are because you changed them. You made them feel a different way. You made them smile. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, that guy booked 250 shows a year. I would be like, that guy was like, he was fun to be around. Like he made us feel good. We hired him because he was, I don't know. He just, it's not all about money. So I'm trying to say, like, I want people to look back and be like, man, that guy was like a really good performer. And like, he made me laugh, and that's all that matters. Like, he made me feel good about things. I know it's kind of corny, but
no, I mean, and
that's important to me. Like, if someone comes up to me after a show and just says like something like, that was like great, you know, you really put me in a good mood. That means a lot to me.
Yep. Man, you have such a great opportunity to do that. I mean, just in what you do. I mean, I have a foundation organization that we started with a buddy called Rooted Outdoors, and we do a lot of outdoors stuff and create hunting experiences and things like that for kids, and just people going through rough times. And man, there's nothing like that, man. When you can create some sort of joy, some sort of happiness in a moment of somebody's life. And to you, like, you know, like you get in front of, even if it's 20 people, you never know who needs to hear your message that day. Right? Yes. Like you're performing, but there's somebody in that room that whether they come up to you or not, you can feel confident that you did something that gave them a moment of joy and happiness and laughter and things like that. And that's an amazing talent that you have, and you should be really, really proud of that, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah, man. Like, you know, I've done shows for like audiences of 1,000. I've done trade shows for 1,200 and stuff. But like sometimes, man, when it's like little Johnny's 6th birthday party at his house, I don't do this much anymore, but There's something special about making someone else feel special. It's not always about you. I mean, we're on this planet all together, you know, we got to help each other out in some way. But I do feel grateful that I'm able to, you know, be someone who does that.
Well, and if you think back to the beginning of our conversation about all the challenges we have as business owners and entrepreneurs, I mean, that's truly what gets you up in the morning, right? It's not the paycheck, man. It's never going to be the paycheck. If you truly love what you do, yes, you want to make money. So I should back up. It is about the paycheck because you need to make money to do this. Yeah. But like, that's not what drives you, honestly. I don't feel like it drives you. So
no.
And people see that, man. They see that you know what you. I know, you know, working with you for the event that we did in Pennsylvania, it was very evident. It was very evident, honestly, that, you know, you're easy to work with. You really care about your clients. You care about us, and you asked a lot of questions, like, to make sure that you were prepared to do the best you possibly could. And it was really, really, really cool. It was cool. It was easy to work with you, man.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. It was great working with you too. And, you know, one thing that I've noticed too is, like, people don't show you their pain really. Not that everyone's in pain, but you never know who needs just to laugh, you know, or who needs to be amazed. So it's like every opportunity when I do that, it makes me happy, you know. Like, I know I'm beating a dead horse when people come up, even if they don't come up, you can just tell they're having a good time. And I feel like if people are having a good time, maybe it makes their day. And that's important nowadays because there's a lot of negativity in the world. So
Yep. Too much, man. Too much.
Yeah, I know.
So,
yeah,
man, but, you're truly doing it, man. I mean, and I'm excited, like I said, to see you do it across the country, you know, and start to go to different events across the country. And
I really think that Connect is going to be such a huge step in that direction. I just can't wait.
For sure, man. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Well, I would say, I'm going to ask you one last question. We're going to wrap up. Is there any advice you would give an entrepreneur? Maybe they're starting a business, maybe they're struggling a little bit.
Right.
You know, what advice would you give somebody right now that's listening to this or watching?
Sure. Well, first things first, it's funny you asked that because I read an interesting quote this morning and it said something like, if you're not like scared or terrified with if you are scared and terrified with what you're doing, most likely you're doing the right thing and keep going. Yes. So I will say that if I would have like stopped every time I had a bad show or shows weren't coming in or whatever it was, that would have been a long time ago and I wouldn't be performing as often as I am now. And I've learned a lot. And so it's such a cliche, but really don't stop, you know, keep going. Sometimes like these blessings come when you are down and out and least expect it, like right when you're going to give up, something good might happen. Yep. Just keep going. A little practical advice, try to find some way to have some maybe supplement source of income. Like I was subbing as a teacher, maybe some kind of job, but it's doable. I mean, it really is doable. Like people say this all the time, like if I can do it, anyone can, but that's how I feel. Like I never in a million years thought that I would be performing as what I'm doing now. I really, really, really wouldn't. So honestly, like it's so doable. If I can do it, anyone can make this happen, honestly.
And I think to your point, I think so many people get almost to the point where they're about to have a even if it's a little win to keep them going, they quit too soon. And they're right there. And if they would have just kept plugging along, they'd get that one win or that one gig or that one piece of business that could keep them going. And I would say the same thing. Don't give up. Just keep plugging away. If it's really, truly what you want to do, it will happen if you're doing the right activity, and you are. So
yeah, totally, man. It's really doable. Honestly, so doable. Just got to keep going.
Keep going. So I appreciate you being on the show again today.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. And I'm looking forward to connect, be here before you know it.
Yep.
And I'll be there. I'll be there in a couple weeks. So I'll see you actually in a couple weeks, which would be really cool.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I'll be there first week of February. So
awesome. We'll have to do lunch.
Yes, for sure. For sure. But man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you being a part of our Master Networks community. I appreciate you being vulnerable today and transparent and sharing some of these challenges you've had, because it really helps those who listen and watch this. Yeah, man.
As we hang up, I'm heading out the door to do a show. So keep trying, guys.
I love it, man. Keep going. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.